What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the new subscribers. Thanks for joining us. So today I wanted to just kind of go over some new acquisitions that I've made in 2023. Kind of just quickly go over what I like, don't like, things that you might find useful in your life, and things that you might think would be useful in your life that you found out won't be actually, I guess. So let's just get into it. I think I'm just gonna start with these little fidget coins. So this is just something that I found on Etsy, and I think I might have even gotten one off Amazon. But it seems like it's just one of those things where you can like go to Alibaba or whatever online, and you can purchase these things for you buy 500 of them, you get them for $6, and you go and you sell them. But it's just a little magnet, and then as you can see, it spins on a track, and it's got a little bearing track here, and then you just click it on and the magnets make it click. And then if you press hard in the middle, it's pretty silent, and then if you press on the outside, if the click is what you really like, then it clicks. I also have this one. It's like I didn't like that it had a clear coat on it, like a shimmery, shiny clear coat. I just didn't like the way it felt. It always felt, I don't know, slightly greasy, almost like it's somebody's been playing with it after eating McDonald's French fries. And so I was like, I don't know. And since they're only like 10, 12 bucks a piece, I bought this one that's just a matte finish. It's just like a raw metal or whatever. I don't think it's aluminum. Maybe it is, but honestly, I think it's like die cast. I mean, and then this came actually free with one. I didn't even know I was going to get one that came free. And it's basically the exact same thing, built exactly the same in the middle. It just feels different. But they all click. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I have really bad ADHD, so that's what I like. I thought this one was cool. It's just like a spinner that spins forever. I have actually tried to... I spun this thing and then went and brushed my teeth, and when I came back it was still spinning, and I brushed my teeth for 2 minutes via a timer on my toothbrush, so I know it spins for at least 2 minutes. But yeah, it'll sit there and spin for a long time. And then I got this spinner that is like a wheel. This thing's pretty neat. It's just like a little wheel that has magnets inside in a little tool area. I might have shown this in another video, but that's okay. And then, of course, my little Tesseract cube. This thing was very fidgety. It's like made out of aluminum, so it's got a little bit of weight to it. Feels good. And then I got this. It's another like spinner. It's supposed to be like Thor's hammer, so like Mjolnir, but you can take the stem out, or the handle, I guess, and make it a spinner. I mean, again, just cheap little things. And then this is a charger, a wall charger. So if I ever go anywhere and I need to charge up a device and I didn't bring my charger with me, I can likely find the cable, which I have right here. This is basically a cable card, which I have the original cable card, which I would prefer getting. But this cable card is the cheap Amazon version, and the reason I got this one is because I actually lost one of these inside. So what it is it's a cable. It's a small USB-C cable, and these are all USB to whatever it is adapters. USB, lightning bolt cable, and then the micro USB. You plug them together. You have different configurations for different types of charging capabilities. And phone stand. Sorry about that, my daughter suddenly needed me. So where was I? Ah yes, I was talking about the cable card. So the cable card is this is the cable card. Now they're about 35 bucks, and they have this stand here. They're pretty pricey compared to the alternatives, but it's made by a smaller company. I just like it. It's great. But I unfortunately lost one of the little dongles in it, and you can't really replace them. And I didn't want to spend 40 bucks on a single little thing, so I bought this one that's cheaper. But the quality is not as great. But that's regardless. That's beside the point. This is a titanium comb. Just, you know, I wanted a little thin comb that I could brush my hair with. And there's a website I get emails from called CountyCom, and they have random little titanium things. And they had this titanium comb on sale for like $3 or $4. So I was like, okay, I'll buy a little comb, and it works. This is a little back scratcher. I've got eczema, so I get back scratches, and I've got some broad shoulders, so I can't. There's a spot in the middle of my back I can't scratch. So unfortunately, this helps me reach it. So I guess I should say it's fortunate that I have this, but it's unfortunate that I can't reach that spot. Excuse me. Another thing I started carrying that I found just the other day actually were these reusable zip ties. I've actually used one of them on on a ripped bag, and it worked really well at holding the bag together. So I was like, wow, I've just bought these things and have already used them. So yeah, reusable zip ties. This is a collapsible drinking straw. So I work out in the field quite a bit, so that means I have to stop and pick up food on the way wherever I'm at or wherever I'm going. And sometimes I don't get a drinking straw, and it's pretty frustrating to have one of those big cups or have a cup without a straw that needs a straw. So I found that at Ace Hardware, and it's super cheap at the checkout line, and it's worked. I've used it twice. This is my titanium screwdriver that I've made, or I've used. I got it from CountyCom. I think it was like, I don't know, $20 or something, little titanium screwdriver, and it works great. I mean, the pivot works, I like it. It's a simple little lightweight 1/4-inch bit screwdriver. Let's see. I think that's it. I think we can go to the knives now. Yeah, so let's get to the knives. Oh, I guess I wanted to say that this spinner, it's also got these little fake little, aluminum shaped like bullet things that you can take out and put back in. Just gives you something to kind of fidget with your hands if you're waiting on something or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty fun. And I like taking them all out except for like one side and then making it wobbly, and I don't know. There's just all kinds of little things you can do with it. But I wanted to point that out, that those do come out. All right, on to the knives. So let's get to this guy. So I found this in like one of those mall ninja stores where you go and you find like the anime pillows and the ninja katanas and stuff like that. And I was just walking through it. We were kind of just giggling at the things that were on display. And then I saw this in the case, and I was like, all right, I got to check it out. And so just to give you an example, I was literally had this in my pocket. And I said, so I know that's an OTF. How well does it work? And, he starts talking to me about OTFs, and we start chatting. I'm like, well, I have this one, and I've got this Microtech Ultratech. And he's like, oh, wow, and I let him check it out, and he thinks it's really neat, and he's playing around with it. And he said, well, I don't know if you're going to like this one. And so I was taking it, and I was like, wow. I am not kidding you. I have tried to make this thing fail for 4 months. It will not fail. It's 440 stainless. So at least I don't think it's lying about the steel, which isn't the best steel, but it's not the worst. I've had an edge on it for a while. It's never rusted or shown any signs of rust. I've sharpened it. This is probably one of the most surprising knives, honestly. Like, for how cheap and just little tiny, you look at it and you think, well, that's just a toy. Like, there's no way. But man, I tell you what, I have cut boxes, tons of boxes, opened letters. I've taken it to work. I've let people borrow it. They take it and they think it's hilarious when they push the button and the little blade pops out. And it's almost a good introduction to OTFs, because when I hand this to somebody, they can look at it and they can see how non-dangerous it is. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna hold up a gas station with this thing? Are you serious? Like, but man, just surprising. Yeah, it's got a little aluminum. It's a little aluminum body. Look at that. I don't know if you can hear that. I'll do it up next to the mic. Very, very, very little rattle, okay? Just keep that in mind. This thing barely rattles, never fails. I don't know how they did it, but it's flawless. Got the Hogue. I mean, everybody I think that collects knives probably has a Doug Ritter, or they have the Benchmade Griptilian, one or the other. I kind of like the Ritter Hogue. I like Hogue knives more than Benchmade personally. I've got, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 Benchmade knives, and it seems like almost every one of them have had some kind of issue with them as far as quality control. Blades aren't centered, grinds are weird, screws are loose. It seemed like there was always something. And with the Hogue knives, I've got 3 of them here, but 2 of them I bought this year, and this is one of them. And I tell you what, I have never had to center it. I've never had to tighten it. I've never had to do anything with any of them. This knife just works every single time. Don't have to worry about it. Works every time. So yeah, I'm really digging the knife. The reason that I bought it is because Original Goat, who made these scales that I put on my Deca, which is an amazing knife. Another Hogue I purchased. Well, the knife I actually purchased last year during a sale, but the scales I just got. And these are the extended scales. I did a video on them already, but I've had them for a while. I've been carrying this knife around. I have yet to do anything to it. I am not kidding. This knife has been centered. It has been perfect. It is not loose at all. It is solid, and it functions every time without fail. This is Hogue is how knives should be made. I mean, that's just how it is. But not to take away. Well, let's finish with the Hogue. Let's talk about this one. The Hogue Exploit. I haven't seen a lot of videos on it. I haven't seen a lot of YouTubers have been showing this off. They all have the Hogue Compound, which I think is a little larger. Might have a nicer steel blade. I don't remember what the steel is on it. It might be like, S20V or something. I think this is 30V. We'll find out in a minute. And it's got the Glow Rhino tritium thumb stud, which this one has a different brand, so it doesn't work as well in my opinion. But I tell you what, I get it. So there's a couple of things that I like about this knife. One, the blade is incredibly slicey. That thing is awesome slicey. Yeah, this is the S30F blade, and I think it's a 20 CV20 or something like that is the other one, is the Compound. So this is the Exploit. I'm pretty sure it's got the same length of blade. I like it because it's got a thin blade, so it's super slicey. If you compare it to something like an Ultratech, you can see how the thickness difference is in the blades there. Yet it's shorter, so this thing's like a wedge. So this is like trying to push a wedge through paper, while this is trying to like push a knife through paper. So if you're like, cutting through thin things like cardboard, stuff like that, this is the knife that I would rather have. It's got an aluminum body, which I really like. I like the aluminum. It just feels strong and easy to, clean and kind of take care of. It's easy to open and close. I've only had this knife fail on me once. It's very loud. And it's very loud. Yeah, that's me shaking it. Man, that's why I was pointing out the noisiness of that other knife. Yes, it's not as big, but my goodness, something in this knife is loose. And it's not the button. My finger's on the button. It's the blade. So I wasn't too thrilled about that. Now, it may not seem like that big of a deal, but I do a lot of hiking and walking and stuff. And so when you're walking through, trees or walking across property or something, and this is in your pocket, and that's all you hear for 3 hours, it gets really annoying. And I mean, it's in your pocket and you're still hearing it. You know what I mean? Like you can't stop it. So that's a real bummer that I have with the knife. And another thing is I actually cut the tip of my finger. And the way I cut the tip of my finger is because I was just had it in my pocket and I wasn't thinking, and I slid my finger across the top. And I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can kind of show this off. Yeah, that's the blade tip. Look how close it is. That's it right there. That blade tip that super sharp, super thin little pointy blade tip goes in and sets right there. I mean, right there. And can I touch it? Oh, yeah, easily. I'm not even trying. And so if you're not thinking and you don't know that it's there, and I wasn't even paying attention, it was just in my pocket, and I was kind of waiting, and I slid my finger up, and I was like, ow! And I looked, and sure enough, I had a tiny little cut, and it was from the blade. So, I mean, I like this knife. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to keep it. I use it, as you can tell. It gets used quite a bit. So, I mean, that's not the problem. It's just, you gotta understand, this knife and this knife, they cost the same amount of money. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But all right, and then now that we've gone over me just gushing about how much I love Hogue knives, let's go over a couple of other knives that I absolutely love. So first is Kunwoo. My goodness, Kunwoo is killing it in the knife making. I just can't believe how awesome this pulsar is. Now, I haven't put the strong springs in it. A lot of people don't like that this feels kind of weak, which, I mean, yes, it's not strong. But I don't think it's supposed to be. It's a bar lock. It's almost like a gravity knife with a lock on it. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's not, I can't, this one's got a little bit more pop to it, but even I fail it. It's just, at the end of the day, it's almost like a gravity knife with a bar lock that locks it into place. However, they made stronger springs that you could put into it, so you can always replace the springs, but this one honestly doesn't bother me at all. I can see where a better detent means less failure. I will also say that I'm not as big of a fan of the hole as I thought I would be. They made like this wedge. I don't have the knife on me, but they made a thumb stud that was like a little triangular wedge when they put it on like the X Tau or their Tau designs, or I think they're Zen too. And they're doing it on their upcoming Chad, which I've got pre-ordered. But yeah, this, I'm not a big fan of the hole. I like the thumb stud, the deployment of the thumb stud. It just feels better because it's like a triangular wedge, almost like the shape of the hole, just smaller. Anyways, it's got the nice texturing. It just feels good. It's a good knife. Kunwoo's killing it. And right now they're doing a Kickstarter for their Chad, which is a knife that is probably the same basic design, but it's going to be about this long, so it's going to be longer. And it's got like a big, nice sheep's foot blade with ASP 60. Hardened at like 67 to 69 HRC. Cannot wait. Super pumped for that knife. And it's the same design, the same, bar lock, which is just amazing. I got mine with the orange peel texture. I thought I was going to like this diamond texture more than I do, but it's not my favorite. I have the orange peel textured X Tau I love. So, but yeah. Anyways, I got this one that's really, really a nice knife. And then my newest acquisition is my Null Knives Raiden, which I just did a video on. I love this knife. This thing is awesome. I can't believe I have one. I'm still stoked that I have one in my possession and that I get to use it. And yeah, so far it's like the standard in knives. It's perfect. I'm serious. I seriously, there is nothing on it I would change at all. Anyways, that's my newest acquisition so far in 2023. I can't wait to show you guys what I got next time. Yeah, I think that'll do it for this video. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great week.